What's up, everybody? Cesaro Level here. I'm not gonna lie, I've been awake for almost 23 hours, so if my phone starts looking a little weird, that and the fact that I'm actually drunk as shit right now, which the girlfriend has officially broken up with me and kicked me out, so it's now the ex. I'm currently at my father's house awaiting the ability to save up money. And my rant on my last video lasted so long that, quite literally, I just got done recording like a 20-minute rant. My phone kicked me off type of thing. Like, before it was giving me an actual, here's how much time you have, wrap your shit up, but now it's not. So, at any rate, about the whole X thing, I was talking with Bill, and I guess, according to him, he's been in the same situation I've been in a couple times. And with the way my depression's been, me drinking has been, even though it's a terrible thing, it's kind of a good thing. Repeat of ADD moment. Spawn tattoo. Sorry, I keep noticing it on my arm every now and again. I'm like, yay, show this off. He's been in the same situation before. Bill doesn't have depression like I do, so the thought of jumping off of a building after blowing my brains out and slitting my throat type of thing, that I don't think that's crossed his mind, but I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, I'm just saying the thought has crossed my mind, which I mentioned before in the last video. And again, apologies for the not wearing the shirt. I'm pretty much trying to go to bed. I'm still wearing pants, so at least I'm not doing this completely butt-ass naked for you guys, which I know none of you would want to see. Like I said, he's been in this situation before, he's lived through it, but after talking with him, I've realized something. He made a mention of it where, and again, I'm probably going to get my ass chewed out for this, but he made mention of the fact that his last two relationships, pretty much he knew that they were over a little bit after the time when he found that his girls had pretty much put all of his shit in a corner type of thing. Like, he made mention of it where quite literally they gave him like his own little nerd habitat to sit around in. And that was essentially all he had. And it's obvious in the old Reploid Productions videos if you pay attention to it. But I don't know, it's one of those things where, now that he said it, I've made notice of it. Like, she quite literally packed all of her stuff neatly, and my shit she just kind of threw in boxes. Now, again, I'm not trying to talk about my ex or, say anything bad about her, because at the end of the day, she's my ex, yes, but I do still kind of love her. Just from the simple fact of she was at least kind enough to put up with my bullshit and at least try to attempt to date me. Whereas most other relationships I've had, it's either been over the internet, on Facebook, over the phone, from like a different state type of bullshit. And that's a completely different story in and of itself. Which again, with a face and attitude like this, it's, no wonder no woman has actually, attempted dating me until now. But she took a shot, and it fell in the crapper, and there's really no hard feelings other than the fact of, the day I was trying to pack most of my stuff up so Bill could come and help me the next morning. She literally showed up with her mother as they were wandering around our apartment, murmuring and whispering and essentially talking shit about me, even though I'm sitting quite literally in the living room with 80% of my shit packed, and I can hear it. Hear them type of thing. That gets a little obnoxious. But Bill said something that, again, back to the whole girlfriend relationship thing, which again, I'm drunk, which Bill made mention in his video telling you guys to come watch my shit, if anybody is actually watching my shit other than maybe him. But he says I tend to ramble, which makes me seem like I'm drunk or stoned, which today I actually am drunk, so now you can really tell what it's like when I'm drunk. Because, man, this vodka's kicking my ass. But, It's probably because I'm a lightweight and don't actually drink often. If I'm drinking, it's either a special occasion or I fucking needed it. And believe me, I fucking needed it. Especially living at my father's house again for the second time. Which could be worse. I could be going back and living with my mother for the third time. Fuck on that noise. Anyway, he made mention of the fact that, again, he knew his relationships were over because, aside from they finally told him it was over and, you know, all the different bullshit that they were pulling. But he said that they put his shit in a corner, like, you know, keep your shit away from, like, my perfect home type of thing. And again, I'm sorry if my camera angles keep fucking up. It's because I'm drunk and not thinking about it. Also recording on a cell phone. And that could have been worse. That could have been a beer fart. Actually, I take that back. That could have been less terrible because at least there's not smell-o-vision. But he said that it took all the way up until his current relationship where she essentially allowed him to be him. And that right there should have been the big hint. I've always told myself I would never allow a woman to change me. Now, that's not necessarily a good thing, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But at the end of the day, you are you. You need to find somebody who accepts you as you. And I'd completely forgotten that because I thought that my ex accepted me for me. But at the same time, we also kind of rushed into the relationship. Like, quite literally, my roommates at the time were packing their shit up and moving. I was going to have nowhere else to go. And me and her had essentially been on like 2-3 dates, you know, hung out a little bit. We were coworkers at the time, so we were hanging out at work and after work and randomly and, you know, just kind of spending 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time just kind of sitting around talking and bullshitting. And I think it was about maybe a month or two into us actually, quote, dating that I ended up moving in with her. So, because of all of that bullshit, our 1-year anniversary would be at the end of this month. It's currently June, so there you go. Our 1 year would have been at the end of the month. So we literally made it 11 months. And I noticed in the middle of it, like maybe around December or January, she pretty much tried like changing me. She's like, you know, you have a shitty job in order to get our bills paid and for, you know, you to take care of our son, because at the time it was still our son. You know, you need to get a better job. You know, her mom kept saying maybe you should go back to school type of thing, which I've done college twice. Flunked out of it twice because I didn't give a shit. I felt the same way about college that I did about high school. Fuck it. You know, I should already know everything that I need to know, and I understand if I need to go to a specialized... If I need to get into a field that's, you know, has specialized requirements like medicine, or the first time I went, it was for architecture. Yes, I needed a specialized degree in specialized education. The next time I went, it was quite literally for web page design. Not only are there websites out there now that allow you to do that shit yourself, at the same time, I was no joke still going into Notepad and making full-fledged websites in Notepad. They had me on a Mac, which I'm more of a PC guy, using Dreamweaver and using the actual artsy-fartsy portion of it when I'm better at code than I am at actually design. You know, that's always my problem. I'm not a big design type of person. I'm more of a, you know, what's the quickest, fastest way to get something done kind of person. So, there was my 2 failed attempts at college, but, you know, like I said, everybody kept trying to change me and shape me and mold me into something I'm not. I'm a gamer. I'm going to sit on my ass and play Super Mario Brothers to completion 3 or 4 or 5 times before I finally get sick of it and be like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm going to sit down and play Saints Row the Third just because I want to grab up a giant dildo baseball bat and beat motherfuckers to death for an hour. Then once I'm done with that, I'm going to pick up Doom and try to scare the living shit out of myself again. Well, technically Doom 3, because that at least had In Dooms 1 and 2, the reason why you got scared is because your health started getting low and you're like, oh fuck, need health, need health, need health. Who the fuck is around this corner? Oh shit, it's a skeleton with rockets. Ah, fuck, I'm gonna die. Doom 3 at least had the ambiance to, help boost the scare type of thing. But even then, it's still more of a pick up the chain gun and shoot the shit out of as many fucking zombies as you can type of thing. So, like I said, it's one of those things where I'm sick of this town. I'm sick of all this shit. I've sworn off dating for a while now, which again, you usually do that after you're done breaking up with somebody. And again, I'm sorry about the shit camera angle, but I don't know. It's one of those things where most of the people in my area, or at least, yeah, most of the people in my area are juggalos. And as a wrestling fan, I'm not a fan of juggalos. And it comes down to a fact, if there's been 2 or 3 wrestling shows I've gone to where quite literally the motherfuckers there that are, what was it? There was one where ICP was literally supposed to be there, and a whole bunch of juggalos showed up. They quite literally told the guy he owns and runs the wrestling company, like he owns the actual Fed. This dude told his random juggalo fuckbag told owner's 4-year-old daughter to eat a dick and go fuck herself. And that's quite literally the quote. He told a 4-year-old girl to eat a bag of dicks and go fuck herself. Because she walked by and dude purposely tripped her. And she said, can you at least say excuse me or I'm sorry? And he was like, fuck yourself. That's kind of where I draw the line. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not every single one of them, because I know quite a few that are still decent human beings and pretty cool people, but I understand where the cause for being a juggalo comes from. You're a nerdy outcast, or not even a nerdy outcast, you're just an outcast loser. You're looking for something that kind of fits where you feel like you would fit in. Believe me, I'm a nerdy outcast. I fell into being a metal kid and being a metalhead and all that other happy shit. I get it. At the same time, people have off days, and there are days I want to tell 4-year-old kids to eat a bag of dicks and leave me the fuck alone, but that doesn't mean I'm going to. Because I'm at least a little bit more of a decent human being than that, but that's beside the point. My point is the ex was a juggalo. Well, juggalette, and even then she didn't like ICP. She was more of a fan of Boondocks. So I don't throw hatchets. I throw pitchforks, and I don't give a fuck. I fuck you and your culture. I'm not trying to be a dick here. I know you feel the same way about metal, but at the same time, metalheads can like rap, and I will at least defend rap, old school rap, because at least old school rap had a message and meant something. Nowadays, it means about as much as the dog shit on the bottom of my shoe. Moving along from that debate. Like I said, when it comes down to a relationship, I know I need to find something where she likes me for me, wants to be with me for me, and has no problem changing me. Bill got lucky in that regard. He found somebody who actually gives a shit about him, doesn't want him to change in any way, shape, or form. She loves us. I'm not even gonna lie. Fucking his old lady is, no joke, one of the coolest girlfriends he's ever fucking had, because she is awesome enough to hang out with us. Even after, like, if he's left the room, she'll hang out with us. Most of the other ones, they couldn't really give 2 flying fucks about us. Now, they give shit about, like, certain people. Like, I'm still friends with one of his exes. Almost to a point of barely and more of an acquaintance type of thing anymore, but that's because we had a falling out of our own, but that's beside the point. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where even my girlfriend didn't want to come around and meet my friends. Like, she wanted to meet them, but after she met them, she didn't want shit to do with them. And she met my family and didn't want shit to do with them, whereas I met her family and I was like, you know what? I kind of don't like them at times, but at the same time, they're cool enough. I'm going to, come and hang out and see them and say hey and what's up and, see how things are going and go from there. She honestly didn't give a fuck about that. So, there's another downfall. But again, I'm tired and I'm drunk as fuck, and this is coming up on, well, by the time I'm done rambling, 15 and a half, so I'm gonna call this quits because I gotta go and work another third tonight. So I'll catch you guys later. But I'm gonna try to continue this rant a little bit because, again, when it comes down to relationships, I'm figuring more and more out. Like, quite literally, my girlfriend was like the first real relationship I've had. Because most of my other ones have been like over Facebook and on the phone and that stupid type of shit. And no, like I said, it's no fucking wonder that my first relationship failed and tanked into the ground. But what are you gonna do other than go out and get some porn and a pocket pussy? Meh, my hand works fine enough.